Oh my God, there's so much to get to this morning. It is a brand spanking new day. Welcome to the Aired Out podcast, live from Fly on the Wall Productions. Yesterday, I want to give a shout out this morning to Chimney Care. Dave came over to the house yesterday and cleaned the chimney, and I don't know. It's kind of odd. That is just such a great feeling when you got the chimney cleaned. Don't have the firewood stacked up yet, but at least I got the chimney cleaned. Just a good feeling. Happy Tuesday, everyone. World Day today. Soon going to be having my fresh copy in hand delivered by Chris. And, of course, that's going to well shape our community calendar for the rest of this week and this weekend. There's so much going on. Going to be talking about the trucking industry in Vermont this morning and beyond as we check in with Tracy Haynes from Giroux General Transport. Also, what you need to know if you're going to be donating today to the hurricane relief event hosted by Dan Molind and his Hope Coalition on Vine Street in Berlin. Posted some about that last night and got a whole heck of a lot of activity. So we're going to give you some more information on that. Not much different, though, I'll tell you, than what I posted on Facebook last night. Okay, for details and times and what's being requested down there in North Carolina for goods. We have so much to dive into this morning. We are streamed everywhere you get your podcasts and on the web at airedoutvt.com. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Happy Tuesday to you. National Heroes Day today, and I asked you early this morning, who's yours? Who's your hero? Would love to hear from you. Weather today from NBC5. We're looking at a frost advisory. With temps in the 30s across much of Vermont this morning. We'll get up to 60 later today with partly sunny skies this afternoon. And then tonight, I think the frost advisory goes into effect about, I think it's midnight until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. This is the time to pick those green tomatoes if they haven't reddened up yet and get them inside. And anything else that you have in the garden, it is time to put it to bed. Went over to Fontaine's, the sawmill, got my mulch, got that into the garden, churned it in a little bit by hand. Going to let the tiller do the rest of it. But it's such, puts the nitrogen or whatever into the soil. It's an important thing to do. I think most of us know that here in Vermont. Looks like we'll get down again, upper 30s, maybe 40 if we're lucky overnight tonight with mostly cloudy skies. But again, that frost advisory is in place beginning late tonight into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow looks real nice. Wednesday, partly sunny and 55 degrees. Tomorrow, being that it is Wednesday, we're going to start out this morning with a shout out to Washington County Mental Health because tomorrow is their Wellness Wednesday event. They do not do this every single Wednesday throughout the entire year. So please note that tomorrow is another one. But it's not like if you miss that one, you're going to have every opportunity in the world to do this. It is free. There is no charge for it. You can get over to 23 Summer Street right here in Barrie, upstairs on the second floor, and they're going to take good care of you. They're going to give you a massage. They're going to do mindfulness meditation. They'll do acupuncture, acupressure. Starts at 4:30, goes till 7. Again, don't even need to bring your wallet. It is absolutely free. Reiki, they do chair and table massages too. Listen, if you want one of those massages All they ask is that you give a call ahead and make a reservation. Again, it's free. Just call Robin, 479-4055 to reserve your time tomorrow. But yeah, all put on by Washington County Mental Health. Wellness Wednesday. They've been doing this for a long time. And they've also been serving our Central Vermont community for a very long time. We're talking about 60 years. And on average, right around 6,000 Vermonters every year that benefit in some way, shape, or form from Washington County Mental Health. We love them. We appreciate them so much. And it's wonderful that they are a sponsor still of the Aired Out podcast. Find them on Facebook, too. WCMHS. Birthdays today. Yes, we're going to jump into the news. We have Todd Anderson on the list today. Todd, happy birthday to you. Very funny guy. Let's see. We have Rich Clark. We have Rory Tybo. Courtney Corliss. Rob Frenier. Tess Logan. Let's see. Who else? Tanya Zanny. Christina Spencer. Sue Lindbergh. Nancy Benoit, what a great lady she is. Just a wonderful, wonderful person who's done so much for so many people over the course of her life. Nancy Benoit. Heather Collins, happy birthday to you. And looks like Denise Fuller is also on the birthday list today. Daily Dose of Feel Good. And, you know, I want to start out by saying this morning, it is so easy to get overwhelmed by all of the noise and all of the negativity that is on social media. I mean, all you have to do is begin your day in bed by turning on your phone, and it's just such a quick and easy way to feel dread about one thing or another. That's why we have the Daily Dose of Feel Good for you this morning. Start out the day right. And this one's a true story about United Flight 2480 from San Francisco, where things took a turn for the worse mid-air. They had a mid-air emergency and had to land the plane, short-staffed with flight attendants, huge delay at the airport where they went down. I think they went down in Mexico. And things just went from bad to worse. There were all kinds of snafus with the airport, and before you know it, meals were not being served on board, and it went from bad to worse. The airport was getting ready to close, but before they did, the pilot ordered 30 pizzas from a local pizza shop and had it delivered right to the gate, and made sure that all 150 passengers ate before he even made himself a plate. I think that's so cool. You know, I know there's a lot of negative stuff that's going on in this world, and so many of us say, oh, the world is doomed, but it is so nice for a little bit of takeaway of goodness there in a story like that. I just love it. We're going to jump into the headlines here, but before I do, Facebook question of the day, and I posted this about this Enosburg man, Jordan Lawyer, who pleaded not guilty yesterday to killing his father and beating his mother with a baseball bat last week. What a horrific story. All went down on Friday, but the Franklin County State's Attorney, Bram Cranchifield, was quoted yesterday in the media saying, and I'm just wondering what your take is on this. Here's the quote. What we need to reform and what we need to re-examine are cases where there's an intersection between mental health and the criminal justice system. In my opinion, the system, as it functions right now, is not working. And I'm asking you, Vermont, and beyond, what say you about that quote? What was said? Interesting. Checking Vermont regional headlines from WCAX, PTZ, Digger, and the Times-Argus this morning. Residents in the southeast bracing for impact as yet another hurricane makes its way into America. And Vermonters are on their way to help. Hurricane Milton, a Category 5 storm, supposed to be making landfall Wednesday or Thursday. And already we have a whole bunch of Vermonters that are headed down there. By the way, at least 9 counties are under mandatory evacuation orders, with Tampa's airport expected to cease operations today. But Vermonters are going to be heading down there and heading right into this storm, which creates a whole hell of a lot of concern for many of us up here, to fill sandbags and helping to get fuel down there and supplies, where some of the shelves are already empty from Helene. And we have a major hurricane relief effort event that is going to be unfolding today. Started 15 minutes ago on Vine Street, and we're going to talk more about that in just a little bit. And we're going to jump into some more news here, and of course some more national news. There's just a lot going on. One of the good stories, and I love this one, there's a new accessible playground in Glover, Vermont. What a cool story. I love this. Lawrence Seiler from Ableton On Air Live has the details. Good morning, buddy. How are you?
Good morning, and I love this story. There is a new accessible playground in Glover, Vermont, with sensory equipment, according to sources in Glover. The reason for the accessible playground is that to help those with physical challenges, and it also includes activities for people with sensory motor issues, including people with autism and kids with autism, according to advocates in the community. Also, according to other advocates with special needs, and in terms of agencies, in the area of Glover, there's an additional space that will expand. It will expand the playground for more sensory areas. And All People's Park, as it's called, now has a zip line and other activities. And before I end today, this segment, this afternoon, I'm going to be live on Facebook at Orca Media doing a Ableton On Air Live, doing an Ableton On Air about diabetes and obesity, which is a problem in this country. I'm interviewing Deidre Arms, who is a nurse practitioner, and we're talking about obesity and diabetes for caregivers. All that on Ableton On Air Live this afternoon and Ableton On Air. I'm Lawrence Seiler for Ableton On Air Live.
All right. Good job, buddy. Looking forward to that. A judge on Monday afternoon declared the second mistrial in the assault case against Franklin County Sheriff John Grismore. After nearly 17 and a half hours of deliberations over the course of 3 days, judge returned to the courtroom on Monday afternoon and told the jury returned to the courtroom Monday afternoon and told the judge that they could not reach a verdict. Unbelievable. How much longer can this thing get dragged out? Unreal. Police in Chester are scratching their heads after they got a call that someone was potentially armed in a school bathroom. Police got the call yesterday afternoon that there was possibly someone armed and threatening people at the Green Mountain Union High School. Police learned of similar instances happening And the school was advised to treat the incident as an active, ongoing threat. They did a sweep across the entire school. Nothing was found. And the Chester Police Department is adding that, again, several other schools received similar threats. How unfortunate that this stuff has to happen when we are, frankly, just too busy with so many other things that we should be focused on. Unreal. Vermont's Agency of Transportation is bringing back the Name a Plow program for its third year. I think this is so cool. I love this stuff. The program basically invites Vermont schools and their students to name the state's fleet of snowplows. 250 to be exact. And this year, the goal is for Vermonters, for children, young Vermonters, to name the trucks with new names, no repeat names already assigned to the trucks. So they're going to freshen it up. I think that's so cool. I love it. In some of the names that they've come out with, you see them going up and down 89. Do take note, if you can, of some of the names that these kids have come up with. So creative. The Goddard College Board of Trustees announced that it has agreed to sell the campus to a New Hampshire development firm. Capital City officials warn of a scam attempt that's being made to fraudulently collect permit fees from residents. That's another big story that's all over the news this morning. Don't believe me? Pick up the Times-Argus, have a read. And the whole Goddard College thing is just has got so many Vermonters shaking their heads this morning. Unreal. Did I say unreal again? Times-Argus, jury has found a Granite City man guilty of sexual assault following his second trial on the charge. You can read about that in the Times-Argus this morning. Also, of course, the long wait is over in Montpelier for their post office. They got it. Soft opening yesterday, but this coming Saturday will be the official, I think, ribbon cutting and opening ceremony celebration for the post office in Montpelier after more than a year to have a fully functioning post office. Open 8 to 5:30 weekdays and 9 to 12:30 on Saturdays. Yeah. About damn time. And I know there's other people out there that say, well, there's a lot of stuff that goes with this, JD, and logistics, and I understand. But man, I would have been frustrated right along with the rest of you in Montpelier if I've been dealing with this for the last year. I don't know. Hurricane Milton strengthening to a Category 5 storm. This is the strongest level as Florida braces for landfall again. Could be tomorrow, could be Thursday. But the storm surge has got more attention, I think, than anything else with regard to Milton. That could be, I shouldn't say that could be, that is going to be a major, major problem for Tampa Bay, the nation's most vulnerable metro area to storm surge. They're saying that the storm surge could be the worst flooding in over a century for the Tampa Bay area, anywhere from 8 to 12 feet of seawater. 8 to 12 feet. Now listen, I am well aware that I am a short man at 5 feet 4 inches. Most people hovering right around what? Most guys anyway, right around 6 feet, 5'7", 5'8", somewhere in there. Think about 8 to 12 feet of water. 8 to 12 feet. Even if you're 6 feet tall, we're talking about 2 feet over your head, and that's the minimum. How is Tampa Bay going to survive this? No surprise that we have mandatory evacuations that are underway for the metro area of Tampa Bay. And I posted some of the pictures early this morning of some of the interstates are just gridlock, getting out of there. Tampa Bay, 3.5 million people, and the eye wall could come ashore anywhere from Cedar Key to the in the north to Naples in the south. Unreal. The U.S. government's top disaster relief official says that false claims and conspiracy theories about the federal response to Hurricane Helene are demoralizing aid workers and creating fear in people who need recovery assistance. How unfortunate is this kind of stuff? And I saw a post last night on Aired Out from a listener who was particularly frustrated with this and expressing that, saying we need to look beyond these lies, and we need to stop the fear mongering, and we need to get busy helping people. This is not the time to be spreading rumors. I don't care if you're a politician. I don't care who you are. Let's just keep the facts what they are. By the way, Hurricane Helene, and I want you to think about this today if you're going to be coming up to Vine Street to make a donation. 297 Vine Street in Berlin between now and 4 o'clock this afternoon. And I've got the list of pretty much everything that is being requested from some churches and various organizations down near the Asheville area of North Carolina. That list is on the Aired Out page. It's almost impossible to miss. But if you're going to be bringing something down today, even something small, even a case of water, $47 billion in losses to property owners from Hurricane Helene. $47 billion of property loss. And what's Milton going to do? I don't know. And the price gouging that's going on for not only gasoline but other things, it's just so sad to see these people scrambling down there for resources and assistance. And once again, we let off with it this morning. Probably, at least it should be the biggest story in Vermont. So many Vermonters are headed down there to help out, to give assistance. And this tractor trailer that's parked right now up on Vine Street in Berlin is getting loaded with things from you. And it is headed straight for Asheville. And when we get word of when that truck actually is en route, we're going to make sure to let you know. And you know what? I don't know. It feels good to have a story that's got some positivity in it, with so much negativity that's going on in the world and in our nation with these storms. It's just unbelievable. I mean, I don't know. We're going to do all we can here in Vermont to help the folks down there. And if there's anything that's happening in central Vermont that involves helping anyone down south, we'll be promoting the crap out of it as much as we can. But yeah, that truck is right now parked. This tractor trailer is parked up on Vine Street in Berlin at the Hope Coalition, the lower parking lot right there. Will be till 4 o'clock this afternoon. Come on up and help us load that truck. I'll take, if you can't make it, I'll take you up there. We'll stream live so we can show you around a little bit. I promise we'll do that. Tracy Haynes from Giroux General Transport with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's so nice to chat with you, love.
Well, it's nice to chat with you.
There's
lots going on this time of year.
Yeah, tell us. I mean, let's talk about the trucking industry. Let's talk about. I mean, I think we can get a snapshot of it nationwide and see that we have a population of truck drivers that are, frankly, for lack of a better term, kind of aging out and retiring, which puts more demand on other people to become truck drivers.
Yeah, and locally, more importantly, right now, it's coming into fuel season, and I am getting many, many, many calls of people who need drivers for fuel trucks, plow trucks. Towns are in need. Everybody's in need right now. We're coming into the winter months. Finding a job right now for a CDL driver would take you less than an hour. I mean, it literally, there's that much need. If you want it, it's there for you. There's just log trucks, you name it. Right now, there is such a need. Both A and B licenses are needed. Some are just Bs who want to do local fuel deliveries. Some are As who want to haul over the road, haul that fuel from, Colchester, Burlington down here to the local companies and go back and make another trip.
How long does it take to get your Class A? Like what, 6-7 weeks, somewhere in there?
So a Class A is approximately a 6-week course, okay? And I say approximately because we still run on DMV's scheduling. Our trainings usually are done in about 5.5 weeks, but it takes some time to get everybody road tested through DMV. So we always say about 6 weeks for an A.
All right. November 10th is the next class coming up at Giroux General Transport. You've got some spots available, but those spots are going to fill. The time to get yourself registered or at least call Giroux General Transport and ask some questions is right now. You got to get on this now, because one of the things that you continue to push on your Facebook page is that there's a process and it takes time with the DMV. The new law in Vermont is that you have to get your permit before you can start your CDL course, right?
Correct. So lots of things have changed over the last year. One of them is that DMV is as shorthanded as any other business in the company and any other business in the state, I mean. And they do not have enough evaluators and testers to do CDL testing more than 1 day a week. So with that being said, they're backed up. So you can schedule your permit appointment now if you want to take the November class and still have plenty of time to study, plenty of time to take your practice tests online. I can walk you through how to do all of that. But scheduling your permit test as soon as possible is very important because they're going to be booking at least 3 to 4 weeks out.
Wow.
So that's something important.
Where do you get the book to do your home study before your permit?
Okay, well, there's 2 different ways you can get it. One, you can go to the Vermont DMV, any DMV in the CDL department and pick up a manual for free, or you can go on the Vermont Department of Motor Vehicles website, and there is a link in there that you can click, and it will either read you the manual to you, or you can read it online, or you can print it out.
Okay.
So it's available both ways. Also, the practice tests for your CDL permit is right there on that Vermont DMV website.
Wow, boy, they're making it kind of easy for you a little bit.
It is. It is. It is. You can practice those online tests until you're comfortable with the wording, with taking the test online. When you're passing those and you're feeling pretty confident, you're ready to go get that CDL permit.
All right, and I think you also told me that they basically on Tuesday mornings, starting around what 8:30 or so, they have walk-in permitting.
In the Montpelier Department of Motor Vehicles CDL division, from 8 a.m. to 11, they will do walk-in tests for CDL.
Okay.
On Tuesdays only. Tuesdays only. That is the only time that Montpelier offers any walk-in permit tests for CDL.
So let's just say it like it is, Tracy. If you get the manual,
Yep.
You give it a good read, you go in on Tuesday morning, and you fail your permit test. This gives you the time to go back, reread the manual, and go back in on a Tuesday morning and retake it, because
you can retake it as many times as you want.
Exactly. And get it done before November 10th. I mean, because it's you have to have that before you can start your CDL training.
Yes, and right now we are going. We just started a class, and we had a bunch of students who waited till very last minute to go get that permit, and now they're regretting it because they didn't get it the first time they went down, and their appointments they couldn't get in. So we wound up pushing 5 students from our class this time to our next class because they thought they could just. I'll get my permit. It's an anytime thing. No, it's not. No matter how many times I can stress this, DMV is not going to let you just go in anytime and get your permit. There's only limited availability for evaluators for testing. So
Joe is asking online this morning in the chat, what about hazmat?
Okay, so hazmat theory we teach about once a month. It is a 3-hour hazmat theory training. It costs $100. And then you have to have those grades completed before you can take your endorsement test at the Department of Motor Vehicle. So if you have your Class A or Class B license and you're interested in getting your hazmat, you need to schedule to come in for that course, the hazmat theory course, before you can get your endorsement. They will not let you go down and just take the test like they used to. You must take a hazmat theory training. It's only about a 3-hour class. It's really not a difficult thing, but it goes over all the safeties and concerns about hauling hazardous materials. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering this morning. Hazardous materials. So
what about affordability with getting your Class A or your Class B? I think in one of the things you and I have chatted about in the past is there's really can be often a huge misconception that this is out of the question. I can't afford to do this. I can't afford to get my CDL.
Right. I have heard that a lot of times. I've heard people call and they're like, whew, that's a lot of money. And then I start in with okay, let's help you with funding. And they're like, what? There is a non-degree grant through VSAC, vsac.org, vsac.org, that is called the Advancement Grant. And I send all of my students there first. The Advancement Grant is a non-degree grant because you're getting a license and not a degree. It will cover up to 75% of the course if you're income eligible. So I always have people start there. And then there's additional funding through the Agency of Transportation for women and minorities. There is an additional grant at the Department of Labor, the WIOA grant, that is for people with low income or people who are looking to better their own job experience. So there's different grants that we can apply for. There's funding out there for agricultural. So if you're part of a farm or an industry where you have to haul something over the road that is going to take, say you have to take cattle from, your farm to the butcher or whatever, and you have to go down the regular road, you have to have that CDL. So those are all things we can find grant funding for.
All right. And you said you've got fuel companies right now in Vermont
yes.
who are contacting you saying,
yes,
yo, when's your next class of graduates coming out? They're are they saying they're hired now? They've got a job waiting for them?
Yep. They would have a job waiting for them when they finish. Irving Oil, Conti Oil, both of them are looking. We've got towns looking for plow truck drivers ASAP. They want them now so that they can get them used to driving their equipment. So as soon as you're done the course, they're ready to put you to work.
Isn't that amazing? Just got a comment here. My nephew went through Tracy's school, Giroux General Transport, and has an awesome job in Florida. And that's a great point here, is that once you get your CDL, your family's here, you want to stay put in Vermont, that's great. But you can also spread your wings and fly anywhere you want in the nation.
That's very true. So once you obtain your CDL, as long as you are responsible and you're keeping your nose clean, so I'm saying no DUIs, no marijuana or anything like that in your system, once you get your CDL, it's very rare you're going to lose it. And I mean, it would take something major for you to lose it. Yeah. You can take it with you no matter where you go. So yes, we have had a ton of people come train through us, and now they've got jobs over the road all the way out. I've got one guy who drives in Texas. I've got one guy that drives in Florida. Just, within the last 5 years, they've found their career job that they always wanted. Mm-hmm. So those are things that, that you can start local and you can expand your horizons and see the entire United States. That's up to you.
Amazing. Again, November 10th is the next course start. Do you already know the one after that, Tracy, or is that looking too far ahead?
That is looking a little far ahead right now. We close down at Christmas time.
Yeah.
So November 11th, it's actually Monday, November 11th, we start. And that's the last one for this year, for this fiscal year.
Okay.
And then we're going to be closed down until the end of January. We're looking at probably the last week in January or the first week of February reopening, depending on weather. I mean, if it's a lot of really below zero temps, then we'll probably push it out a week or so. But we haven't set that date yet. We've been kind of watching the weather because the trucks really don't like the really, really cold weather.
Sure.
Tends to make a lot of breakdowns, but also the students don't like standing outside in those really frigid temperatures. So we try to shut down for like 3 weeks or a month between Christmas time and the end of January to get some of that cold weather gone before we put more students out there.
Smart. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be standing out there in that kind of weather.
It's tough. It's tough on the people who are standing there for hours, outside, climbing in and out of trucks and whatever. And not all our roads are not always the best to put a tractor trailer with a new driver on it. Just saying.
So true. Oh my God. Don't get me started on that. I think, is it pretty much a safe bet to say the easiest way to learn more is to visit your website or your Facebook page, but also maybe just to pick up the phone and give you a call. That's what you do, 279-3325.
Yes, that's what I do all day. So if anybody calls me and they do get my voicemail, I'm either on the phone with somebody else or I'm in front of a class or I'm doing something, but I'll call you right back as soon as I'm available. And the best way to know something is to ask. So if you have a question that's really eating you and you can't find it on my website or my Facebook page, you give me a call.
All right. Listen, you need to tell Bill that at some point I'm hopping on board with him And
He's waiting for you, He's
I
waiting for you to do this ride around. And I believe he's looking at next week.
okay. Next week would be perfect. I would love
I-
to do that. And I'm going to stream live.
All right.
All right. I might even try to grab the wheel from him.
Good luck.
All right. Tracy, thanks for hopping on with us this morning.
No problem. You have a great day, hon.
All right. Giroux General Transport. Check them out on Facebook. And right there, you can pretty much learn everything that you need to. And if you still have questions, again, give Tracy a call. And again, the phone number, 279-3325, 279-3325. Sports Monday Night Football last night. Kansas City Chiefs celebrating a 5-0 start to the season after beating the Saints 26-13 was the final. What's the other big story in the sports world? New England Patriots safety and team captain Jabril Peppers arrested on strangulation and drug possession charges. Unreal. Regular season kicks off tonight on the ice for the NHL. If you're watching, if you're paying attention, Bruins fans. Let's see. Community calendar this morning brought to you by The World, Central Vermont's favorite weekly newspaper, with over 22,000 getting distributed every week into the hands of Vermonters. And I should have my fresh copy here. Usually Chris brings it on a Tuesday, anytime now. So I'll be flipping through that. Always love thumbing through the pages of The World. vt-world.com to check out the online digital version. Good morning, Shirley and Joe and Julian. Wow, there's a lot of folks tuned in this morning. Appreciate your eyes and ears. Again, we're going to be talking about what's going on Vine Street today with the huge collection event. We're going to be streaming live as we get down there. We'll let you know about more on that in just a little bit. But being that it is Tuesday, don't forget, dinner at the American Legion tonight, post 10, right here in the Granite City, served up at 5:30. Cheese stuffed shells. Love the carbs. 479-9058 if you want to order ahead. It's dine-in, it's takeout, your choice. And don't forget, bingo starts right after at 6 o'clock. Always fun on a Tuesday night over at the American Legion. Wellness Wednesday, we talked about it this morning. It is tomorrow from 4:30 to 7 upstairs at 23 Summer Street, right behind us here in Barrie. 479-4055 to book a massage or some Reiki. But the acupressure and acupuncture is walk-in, and as always, it is completely free and available to everyone. One of the many, many services from Washington County Mental Health. They're all awesome people. They do such a great job. Wing-a-Ding Wednesday is on for tomorrow at the VFW Post 790 in Barrie. Also on Wednesday, open mic at the Den. Donna Thunder is going to be singing. Proceeds going to the Wounded Warrior Project. Thursday, we got the Chicken Pie Supper in Williamstown at the United Church, 5 o'clock. Friday, the Contra Dance at the Tunbridge Town Hall at 7 p.m. This coming Sunday, almost said Saturday, Sunday, Central Vermont Cars and Coffee, going to be parked out at KOB Kitchen and Bath, right there on Route 302. Bring your classic, bring your car. It doesn't even matter if it's not a classic. Just bring it. If it's a beautiful car, they would love to see you there. It's a great way to spend 3 hours on a Sunday morning from 9 to 12 with Central Vermont Cars and Coffee. Looking ahead to the 25th of this month, Malloween at the Central Vermont Marketplace is from 4 to 6. And as I posted yesterday, it's the only indoor Halloween party where you don't have to worry about the weather. It is going to be awesome. Always has been. It's been going on for, I don't know, I got to ask Annie. 15, 20 years, something like that at least. Also, same day and time for the 4th annual Trunk or Treat at Preston's Kia. Amazing to think that this is year number 4 over there. Also on the 25th, Carving for Kay. In honor of Kay Santamore. She always dreamed of having a jack-o'-lantern event, and that's what Ruth Weeks and Kay's friends are going to make sure is done in her memory. They're asking you to carve or paint a pumpkin, bring it to 21 Rudd Farm Road with your name on the bottom and a tea light or some kind of battery light in it, and the jack-o'-lantern is going to be lit and on display at Rudd Farm Road in honor of Kay Santamore. If you need more info, 272-2587, but keep watching the page. We post up that poster all the time, and it is such an important event. Saturday, November 2nd, looking way ahead here, the Tunbridge Shindink Town Hall is where Donna Thunder is going to be rocking out. Always a good time. The 10th annual Granite City 5K Run and Walk for Veterans, hosted by the Sons of the American Legion Squadron 10 and the Barry Elks 1535. Going to be putting that on year number 10. Wow, that's so cool. Anything else? Just glancing here. What did I want to tell you about on this Tuesday morning? I think that's pretty much it. Don't forget to share, to like, to follow the page. If you enjoy a particular episode of Aired Out, make sure to give it a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a share. And yeah, just got this prayers for Florida, our second home, from some folks up in Quebec. Stay safe. We love you all. And again, starting almost an hour ago is, dare I say, the biggest collection donation effort for hurricane relief in the region. And it's happening on Vine Street in Berlin, not Barrie, Berlin, at the Hope Coalition. You turn right there by Thomas Garden, drive up Vine Street right off 302, and less than a mile up. You cannot miss it. They've got a 48-foot tractor trailer. They're filling it with goods and supplies from Vermonters who are donating today until 4 o'clock this afternoon. The list of the items requested directly from the mouths of folks in Asheville, North Carolina, that list is posted on the Aired Out page. You can't miss it. It's right there on our page with a big graphic that says Hurricane Relief. Thank you to Dan Molind, who came in yesterday to talk about this, for spearheading this with the Hope Coalition. You've got till 4 o'clock this afternoon. A lot of hygiene and toiletries, but also there was a lot of talk last night on Facebook about the need for can openers, because these folks have a lot of non-perishable food items, canned goods that need to be opened, and apparently you can't find a can opener anywhere south of the Mason-Dixon line. So please, if you can grab a can opener, if that's all you can do, that would be enough. And thank you in advance. I'll be up there today. I'll be streaming live. I'm going to be helping to unload cars, and we're going to get this done. This truck is going to be rolling south for Asheville, North Carolina in the very near future. And hopefully when I go live with Dan Molind this afternoon, we'll get a better idea of exactly when this truck is going to turn over and start rolling south. But we're going to be promoting the crap out of it as much as we can. Again, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. The Aired Out podcast is always live. It's never edited. We're always keeping it real, raw, relevant, relatable. We appreciate you. 100% organic, too. Find it everywhere you stream your podcasts and on the web at airedoutVT.com. Enjoy the sunshine today. And we'll catch you tomorrow right here on Aired Out.